James. Jim and James. We ought to do it. You know, they talk about freedom of speech, and I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, but that's desecration. That's a terrible thing to do. We used to have things, we don't have them anymore because we want to be so open, so everything, and look what happens. We should have legislation that if somebody wants to burn the American flag and stomp on it, but just burn it, they go to jail for 1 year, okay?
He cares more about flags than black people.
And the Democrat City Council have surrendered control of 6 city blocks to an anarchist. Now, these are anarchists. These are not protesters. You listen to the fake news, they say, oh, the protesters were lovely. Could you imagine if people just even slightly to the right tried to take over Seattle? They'd have machine guns out to get them. But these people can take over the city. Look at what they've done to business people that have spent years and years building their business, and now they're wiped out. Take it away. Governor Inslee ought to get his act together, get in there. I'll help you. I'll do whatever you want. I'm waiting for a call. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. It'll take less than an hour, and it'll all be over with, and you'll have your city back. And yet Biden remains silent in his basement in the face of this brutal assault on our nation and the values of our nation. Joe Biden has surrendered to his party and to the left-wing mob. He has no control. Does anybody honestly think he controls these radical maniacs? You know what he says to his wife when he's not confusing her with his sister? Get me the hell out of here. These people are crazy. That's what he says. He has absolutely no control. You know, a lot of times I'll make like a speech and I'll have this beautiful paragraph come out criticizing every little aspect of the speech. Beautiful, brilliant. But Joe didn't. And it'll say, a comment from Joe Biden. But he didn't say it. Professional people, great students in English lit. People that are very smart say it. Joe Biden said, and they're going to this highly complex paragraph, beautifully worded, and I say, Joe didn't say that. Joe doesn't even understand it. And if Biden is elected, he will surrender your country to these mobsters 100%. Your 401ks, by the way, look at how we're doing in the stock market. Just set another record with NASDAQ.
What? It's dropping, right?
Your 401ks and money itself will be worthless. Your 401ks are doing very well, unless, I don't want to say, if you were stupid, I said, don't sell, don't sell. It went down, but we got it back up. And now NASDAQ, think of it, NASDAQ just set a record, and I think you're going to see a lot of records. And next year, if we don't do anything stupid on November 3rd, you're going to have the greatest economic year we've ever had. That'll be next year. If the Democrats gain power, then the rioters will be in charge, and no one will be safe, and no one will have control. Joe Biden is not the leader of his party. Joe Biden is a helpless puppet of the radical left. And he's not radical left. I don't think he knows what he is anymore. But he was never radical left. But he's controlled by the radical left, and now he's really controlled. His campaign staff.
So far he's trying to redeem himself, talking about that like Ram thing, and now he's just talking about how terrible protesters are, and then he starts bashing Biden. So far.
And they were the arsonists. They'll say, oh, it's terrible what he says about the people of our nation. Maybe some of them aren't even from our nation. The left is trying to do everything they can to stop us. Every hour of every day, including even violence and mayhem, they'll do anything they can to stop us. Look what happened tonight. Look at what happened tonight. Law enforcement said, sir, they can't be outside, it's too dangerous. We had a bunch of maniacs come and sort of attack our city. The mayor and the governor did a great job, but they were very violent people. And our people are not nearly as violent, but if they ever were, it would be a terrible, terrible day for the other side. Because I know our people. I know our people. But we will never submit to their threats, and we will never let them destroy our nation. What they did tonight, I saw it on television coming in on Air Force One. One thing about Air Force One, we got plenty of televisions. We have televisions in closets. You open up the closet, got a television. We got a lot of televisions. It's a great plane, great everything. By the way, we ordered new ones. No president wanted to do it. They thought it was luxury. I said, wait a minute. Air Force One is 31 years old. People don't realize that. So I said, they gave me a chart very early in my administration, like, how about the first week? Sir, would you sign for this plane? No, it's actually two planes. Would you sign for this plane? Air Force One. I said, how old is the original or the one we have now? Sir, it's 31, 32 years. And I'd see people coming in from foreign lands that can't compete with us. Rich countries, but they can't compete with you. And they have a brand new, beautiful 747-800. 747. And I said, wait a minute. That country has new and we have a 31-year. So somebody had to do it. So the deal was
like, do you see all the news at the bottom?
And it was made for a lot of money. I think it was 5.7 or 5.6.
That's all important stuff.
No, no fairness. It's two.
And what is he talking
about? A lot of
about?
stuff in those planes. I won't talk to you about it. So I told Boeing, the head of Boeing, they said, sir, please, would like to get started on the planes. I said, I do too, but I'm not paying $5.6 billion. And I'm not paying $4.6 billion. I said it has to have a 3 on the front of it. And that's a hell of a lot of money too, but it is a rather complex situation. They said, no way, no way. This was before Boeing had problems, by the way. But Boeing's coming back. They're coming back. The greatest company in the world, and it had some big problems. It had a couple of problems that didn't work out. That was terrible. But the greatest, I think before that, it was the greatest company in the world. It made up 1/4 of a point of our GDP. Think how big that is, one company. It was an unbelievable machine. And then they made a plane, and they did some foolish things, and a terrible thing happened, and all of a sudden, they've gone through hell. But you know what? They're coming back. We're ready to help them if they need it, but they're coming back, and they're coming back. But this was the Boeing before that, and they were riding high, and like I was before this thing came in. But we're still riding high, because you know what? On November 3rd, we're going to win. So they came in, and they said, no, we won't, no, we 5.6 billion, whatever it was. If I'm a little bit off, they'll go crazy, you know. Whatever, but it was a lot. 5.6 billion, nope, gotta have a 3. Gotta have a 3, call me up, nope, cancel the contract. I said, cancel the contract, I want to cancel. I said, General, can you cancel the contract? He said, yes, sir, I'm very proud of it. Oh, good, cancel it. Okay, sir, by the way, to cancel
we got blunts?
Swishers? Nah.
We have a cancellation fee, sir.
Swishers?
How much is it, General?
Who got swishers?
$250 million, sir.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Dutch? Yeah.
I said, what? Sir, we made a good deal. $250 million to Kim. You mean if we don't buy the plane, we have to hand them $250 million? That's not good, right? Take a look at these two guys. They're looking. By the way, that's like a good story compared to some I could tell you, like with aircraft carriers. So they said $250 million, or I always say this, or around that number, because I'm off by a little bit. they say, oh, he exaggerates. I look at numbers all day long. That's what I look at for years now, for my whole life when you think of it. 250 million cancellation fee, sir. He was very proud of himself. What a great thing. I say, General, don't cancel.